Aidan, here we are again. Fight number 3 coming up. Actually, we've had an opponent change just this morning, actually. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, no, it's unexpected. Last minute changes. But it is what it is. I'll take whoever they give me, and I have faith in my management team and in the promotion and everything that it's going to make a competitive fight. This guy is a bit more experienced than the last guy. I think he's had 7 or 8 fights. He's fought some top quality guys, and he's only lost to top quality guys. But that makes me hungry, and I'm excited for the opportunity to showcase my talent this weekend.
I see you got on your head there Scribanti Racing. You've got another sponsor now. What's happening there?
Yes, yeah. So Scribanti Racing partnered up with them. Just as basically a brand ambassador and things like that, trying to help them get the brand off the ground. Very cool brand, clothing wear and lifestyle brand. So you guys must definitely check it out. It's Scribanti Racing.
We're actually, right now, we're in Emperor's Palace. There's a place that you're going to be fighting on Saturday night. Interesting enough, we're in the Hooters here today. Yeah. This is something new.
Yeah, it's your idea. Let me just say that.
This is my idea. For everyone watching at home, it wasn't my idea. So going into this fight, what are the expectations on yourself?
I expect to hopefully have the best performance I've had thus far. I wasn't happy with my first fight. Second fight, I started to showcase a bit more talent. And third fight, I'm much more comfortable now. And this has definitely been the hardest I've ever trained. I mean, I'm hardly having to even cut weight. It's the best I've felt, and I think I'm going to show it. And maybe this opponent change, so a more experienced guy is going to give me the opportunity to show that I can stand and trade with some of the best in the business. And I'm just looking forward to this weekend.
Do you think you're obviously I know professional amateurs is a different sport completely, but do you think that experience from amateurs can sort of play a part, and because of your opponent's actually more experienced in the pro ranks?
Yes.
Do you think it can play a part in this fight and sort of bring you on level?
In my opinion, I've always held this, that amateur boxing and professional boxing are different sports entirely. Different styles of fighting completely. You can have someone who is a very good amateur and a terrible professional, and vice versa. I feel like my style has always suited the professional game. The counter punching, walking backwards, applying pressure smartly. And I think my experience in amateurs, I've always fought in a professional type style. So I don't think the amateur experience is not going to negatively affect me against opponents who's had a lot of pro experience.
You obviously, you said to me in the car that you've actually taken off a little bit of your university time.
Yes.
You're not finishing up just quite yet. Why did you make that decision?
I made that decision because this is one of those sports you can't really be half involved with. So I was going to finish end of next year anyway with one subject. I had one subject this year basically, and I said, well, I might as well do it next year and really try and knuckle down this year on the boxing. The plan still remains the same. I will get my degree, but yeah, like I said, this is not a sport you can be half involved in. You have to be fully committed or not committed at all. And now this is just me showing that I am fully committed to the sport.
Yeah, obviously you've seen 2 guys, particularly in Johannesburg, Emmanuel Colombo and Rourke Knapp, who have fought your opponent before. They both stopped him, but that doesn't necessarily put pressure on you, does it?
No, not necessarily. I don't feel any pressure from what anyone else has done to him. I'm lucky I've got a bit of footage of him, so that helps. But if it goes the distance, it goes the distance. If I stop him, then I stop him. But I don't feel it necessary to compare me to anyone else. Or compare myself to anyone else, whether I stop him in the same amount of rounds or whether I beat him over the distance.
Your expectation of this fight going in here, did you obviously you had a plan, but you can't prepare for a debutant necessarily. Yes. Specifically for this guy, do you have an idea of what you're getting up against?
Yes, I do have an idea, and the game plan does change a bit from what I initially thought, and but I think that this guy may suit me in the sense that I can showcase more skills. It's going to give me an opportunity to not make it look like it's completely one-sided, and I won't get roped into a brawl. I feel like this time we're going to pick each other apart, and we're going to showcase some boxing skills, and I think it'll be good for the show and good for the promotion.
There was a stage in your life where, let's say, you took a little bit of a break off of boxing and you did focus on your studies.
Yes.
And what made you change and sort of come back into boxing again and decide?
Yeah, so I sustained a very serious hand injury, and that was a big factor. It took me about 2 years to recover. I tore all tendons, median and ulnar nerve, and both arteries in my left hand. All of them severed. and that it had a huge impact. And I realized after about 2 years, I was told never to box again after that, but I was told after about 2 years, I realized it's something that it's part of my blood. It's just something I can't give up. So yes, I take a risk every time I go in that I injure my hand again, but it's definitely worth it, and it will be worth it one day.
Brian always sings your praises when it comes to press conferences. He makes sure everyone knows that you're there. Even if you're not on the podium, he'll make sure that everyone knows you're in there.
Yeah.
Brian Mitchell, in your career, what sort of impact does that play?
It's made a huge impact. He's obviously a huge inspiration to me, and I don't see why he wouldn't be an inspiration to anyone in South African boxing. There hasn't been a South African boxer as good as him, and I don't see a guy as good as him for a long time. 40 plus fights, undefeated, world champion, 14 time defending, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a lot to live up to, and me and him have got a very good relationship. It's exciting. It puts a bit of pressure on me because obviously everyone looks at that. But I deal well with pressure, and I'm looking forward to it.
Talking about pressure, 3 Supersport dates in a row. Obviously, if you're fighting on Golden Gloves, always a Supersport date.
Yeah.
But do you feel people messaging you and stuff like that saying all the best for your fight just because necessarily you're on TV and they get to watch you?
Yes. Yeah, so I mean, I've got it's been cool. A lot more people have kind of heard about me through TV and things like that, and just friends and family sharing things on social media. And it's nice to get a bit of a following. It's been quite cool, and I've got a lot of support from my friends and family over these last few fights, and it's just grown. So I don't want to let anyone down, and I'm hoping to give them a show this weekend, and I think I just want to go on an upward trajectory. I don't want to ever stagnate or have a bad fight. I want to continue improving on myself and improving on my performance.
Have you been it's also 2 fights in, but have you been kind of given a guideline of where they want to take your career?
We've had chats, very brief chats, but I think we're going to start having those discussions after 5 or 6 fights. With Brian and my management team and my coaches and things, we have an idea of where we want to go, and they've given us an indication of what their motives are, but nothing's set in stone yet, and I don't want to look too far in the future. I've only had 2 professional fights thus far, and I think maybe after 5 or 6 we can start chatting about real future plans.
Your fight is a 4-rounder.
Yeah, it's a 4-rounder.
Are you anticipating? What's your prediction for the fight? Let's put it that way.
To be honest, it's going to take me a little bit longer to adjust because this guy does have more skills than I was preparing for. So the way I fight is I will adjust to someone, and then I'll capitalize on the mistakes they make. I do see a late stoppage. It's only 4 rounds, but 3rd, 4th round, I do want to stop the guy, and I want to put on a show for everyone.
A message for people that are watching on TV, people that are coming out to the venue to support. What's your message for them?
Yeah, I appreciate all the support, and the more support we as fighters get, the better South African boxing gets, and it all just edges itself on. So to all the guys coming, to all my friends and family, normally the same crew that comes. So can't wait to see you guys there on the night, and to all the guys watching at home. I hope to put on the best performance I can for you, and thank you very much for tuning in, everyone.
And then lastly, I'm anticipating this guy's going to watch your video because he always writes on social media about Rourke and about other fighters.
Yeah.
He's always involved. So do you want to give him a message before you guys step in the ring?
Yes, I mean, I'm sorry that they gave you such late notice. I'm sure we'll put on a good show, and all the best for your training until this weekend. And I look forward to meeting you in the ring. And all the best.